Hi everyone, welcome back to Frugalista here. We're making a pumpkin Bundt pie today. Very great recipe. A showstopper actually. You know the type of recipe that when you invite it to a Sunday lunch and they ask you to bring something, you show up with this pie. They're gonna gossip about you for months to come. You know, it's just a fabulous thing. Takes you back to when your grandmother used to make pumpkin on a Sunday, cinnamony and buttery and just lovely. So I'm gonna take you through the ingredients. Okay, in my bowl here I've got a kilogram of cooked pumpkin. Important that you put it in the microwave when you soften it. The reason for that is you don't want to boil it because it's going to create too much moisture. So put it in the microwave for 15 minutes and then let it cool down, and then you drain the excess water. You're going to need a cup of sugar, brown sugar, white sugar. You can use caster sugar, demerara sugar, whatever you have on hand. A cup of cake flour, some spice that is synonymous with pumpkin. So I've got here cinnamon. I've got a 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of mixed spice. You know that mixed spice that you put in cake, and then 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. I've got 2 eggs that I'm going to beat, a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of custard powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 50 grams of melted butter, 250 ml of cream, 250 ml of milk, and some vanilla essence. Okay, so let's crack on. My oven I've got on 180 degrees Celsius, and over here I've got a Bundt pan. You don't have to use a Bundt pan if you don't have one. You can make it in a square Pyrex dish, you know, the oven-proof ones, the rectangular ones, because it makes quite a bit of batter. Important that you spray it with non-stick spray. Spray it. If you think you've sprayed it enough, just spray it again, just to make sure, because the last thing you want is for it to stick. Okay, so I've mashed up my pumpkin. I'm adding you just actually dump everything. So this is the sugar, 250 grams of sugar, the 2 eggs, and just add the vanilla essence. So about 1 tablespoon. Custard powder, my salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, the spice, melted butter. You can also use oil if you don't have butter. You can use coconut oil as well. It's easy stuff. My milk, 1 cup of milk, and then the cream. This is a very convenient pie because it's not a pie as such. It's what happens, it sort of, when it stabilizes, you can cut it into slices. I also freeze it if I make too much, because there's only 2 of us that eat this pie in the house. I freeze it. I cut it into slices and I put it in a foil bowl and I put it in the freezer. And in the freezer it will last for about a month, 2 months. Well, at least that is what I've done. Let me just mix this through, and then here's my cup of flour. So this is going to go into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. I normally will check it. You will see that the top of the pie will sort of stabilize, and that is how you gauge. You can also do you know, when you test it with a cake tester or fork or a knife, if it comes out clean, Okay. So that's the batter. You can see it's quite runny and lumpy. Okay, here's my cake pan. You know, I'm not happy with it. It looks a bit too runny for me. I'm gonna add a additional 50 grams of flour, just because it looks too. Maybe the pumpkin was watery. You know, sometimes your pumpkin it retains a lot of water. So this is not the consistency I'm very happy with. Let me add 50 grams of flour. Okay, I'm just mixing the additional flours through. Can you see we want it to be almost like a cake batter, not too runny. If it's going to be too runny, it's going to take a while to set. And that's the beauty. If you keep on consistently baking or making things, you can see when the consistency is not right, and you can then adjust your ingredients accordingly. So this is what I'm looking for, like a thick, lumpy batter. So I'm going to pour it into my Bundt pan. Okay, can you see it almost fills up the pan, and it doesn't rise too much. It will probably rise to the top of the very top of the pan. Okay, so it's going in now for 25 to 35 minutes, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, the pie is done. As you can see, it's beautifully baked. It's got some cracks there. I let it cool down for about 20 minutes. So yeah, this is the type of pie that you can eat cold. You can eat it as a dessert. You can eat it as an accompaniment to your meat. It's just so versatile. You must try and make it. I mean, it'll change your life. It's revolutionary. Revolutionary. Okay, I'm being stupid. Anyway, so in here I've got some brown sugar and some cinnamon. And I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the and on the top, but I'm just in order to not let it stick to the bottom of my cake stand here. Sorry, I can't speak today. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put you. So obviously, if you're gonna take this to a party, you can put it on a beautiful cake stand. You can put it on a plate. You can put it on your hand. You can do whatever you choose. So yeah, like I said, spray this well so that we don't have issues with it coming out. Okay. Moment of truth. Wow, look at that. Wow, isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so just move it to where it wasn't scented well. And then just to finish it off, I've got some of that cinnamon sugar that I'm gonna put on here. It's still very warm, so it will kind of melt in, but this is just my choice of decoration. If you want to be fancy and extra and cheese people off more, then drip some cream cheese icing on it, you know, just to set people off at the party you're going to. Anyway, I'm being foolish today. Thank you very much for joining me. Make this pie, it will change your life. Take it to a party, you'll be the talk of the town. Yeah, so enjoy it. This is perfect for if you're having a warm Christmas lunch, perfect. If you're having a cold Christmas lunch, perfect. If you're having a braai, excellent. So try it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you in my next video. Cheers.